The Middle East is engulfed in turmoil and the world is watching it unfold. Two leaders have driven the region to the edge, risking countless lives and the environment to advance their own goals. Yet one voice is rising above the chaos, condemning this dangerous escalation. On June 13, Israel targeted Iran's nuclear sites at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, followed by U.S. airstrikes on June 21 in what they dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer. Brazil's President Lula da Silva fiercely criticized these actions, with his foreign ministry labeling them a clear breach of international law and a grave threat to millions. Lula's administration highlighted the catastrophic risks, both humanitarian and environmental, warning that toxic substances like uranium hexafluoride could contaminate air and water, endangering communities across the region. Let's unpack this. Israel, under Benjamin Netanyahu, claims the strikes were necessary to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. But here's the reality. Iran has consistently denied pursuing such weapons, and even U.S. intelligence lacks concrete evidence to contradict this. The attacks may have damaged some infrastructure, but reports suggest Iran's nuclear program faces only a temporary setback. So why the rush to strike? It's about control, not security. Netanyahu, grappling with domestic unrest and corruption allegations, uses the Iran conflict to deflect attention and solidify his grip on power. The United States, meanwhile, deployed B-2 stealth bombers and Tomahawk missiles in a brazen display of might. This wasn't about protection. It was a calculated escalation, approved by a former president who thrives on disorder. The U.S. sidestepped diplomatic channels with Iran that could have eased tensions, choosing bombs over talks. The result? Significant losses, 627 Iranians dead, nearly 5,000 injured, and the looming threat of toxic gases like hydrogen fluoride poisoning entire regions. Brazil's warning is stark. These strikes risk an environmental catastrophe with far-reaching consequences. Lula's response stands out as a bold call for reason. Brazil didn't just denounce the attacks, it exposed the hypocrisy of nations claiming to safeguard global security while jeopardizing chaos. The International Atomic Energy Agency supports this, noting the dangers of toxic byproducts from the strikes. Unlike Netanyahu, who seems bent on perpetual conflict or the U.S. flexing its military power, Brazil is advocating for restraint. Lula's government champions the peaceful use of nuclear energy and urges the world to prioritize dialogue over devastation. This issue extends beyond Iran. It's part of a broader pattern. Israel and its allies have repeatedly acted with impunity, striking neighbors while dismissing the human cost. Brazil's push for diplomacy challenges that arrogance head-on. Nations like Cuba and Venezuela are joining Lula's call, showing that the global South refuses to remain silent. This is a stand for justice, for humanity over political games, and for a world free from the fallout of reckless conflicts. What comes next? The world cannot ignore these attacks. Brazil has set an example, standing firm against aggression and advocating for peace. We must amplify this message, share this narrative, demand accountability, and support a future where leaders like Lula triumph over those who fuel war. The Middle East deserves more than bombs and bravado. Let's rally behind voices like Brazil's, fighting for a world without fear. Share your thoughts below, and let's keep this dialogue alive. Peace isn't just an ideal, it's a necessity.